So I'm going to ask at this time for the invocation to be given by Councilmember Gant. And I would like for the pledge to be given by Councilmember Robbins. Thank you, Councilmember.
Let us pray. Dear Lord, Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. Thank you for all our many opportunities. We ask you to be with us and lead and guide us, and for us to remember that we're public servants. We want to do the best thing we can for this city. We also ask you to help people that are less fortunate, people that have sickness in their families.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, roll call.
Councilmember Robbins.
Here.
Hill. Thornton. Gant. Jones.
Here.
Yeah. Okay, you received in your packet, council packet, minutes from the Tuesday, July 18th, 2016 meeting. Any corrections to those minutes?
I do have a question from the previous minutes. I think it was at the MLK youth program. Chief mentioned that there were volunteers, Chief Billis mentioned that volunteers that was happening, that helped make this happen. I wanted to ask, was there anyone compensated for any of that work done at the Chief, or was it all volunteer based?
No, we had some from SOAR that was involved in, and then, of course, my sergeant from the police department was compensated.
Okay. You compensated from who?
From her regular salary from the police department.
Okay. And SOAR took care of their own people?
They took care of some of this, and then we had volunteers that weren't paid.
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Motion and a second. All in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, those minutes have been approved. On the old business, approve ongoing city pledge for Wetumpka downtown for $15,000 as previously referenced in resolution number 2016-4-4-1, approved on April 4, 2016. Councilmember King. Motion?
So moved.
Okay. Second. We have a motion, we have a second. Who was that, John?
Yes, sir.
Okay, any discussion?
I would like to discuss towards this. I've had people that mention why downtown. One of the things that we do as we move forward downtown with the Main Street Alabama, it's like a mall authority or a shopping center authority that helps us to decide to recruit the right people. And we should help all of the town. We should help the youth of it. We should help the bypass. My dad worked at and some of you have heard this story, he worked at a meat-free restaurant in the 1940s downtown. And a gentleman came in every day and asked what's for lunch. He was about 15 or 16, he said the same, I'm gonna clean it up, say, gosh darn thing, that's it, since 1909. And one of the things that we can't do is we can't do the same gosh darn thing we've done since 1909. So Mr. Alabama, I think it's a very good investment.
Any further discussion? All in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? So that's been good. And I should tell you how it works. I had a phone call early Saturday morning, woke me up. And, the downtown redevelopment people is showing some business people around downtown that have made a decision to move a business here. And we'll be making that announcement in the next few weeks when they get everything locked down, but it's beginning to come together. So. Okay, other new business, resolution number 2016-8-1-1, Rebecca Winter Thornton, CD3, elected without opposition. Congratulations. And we need to. Okay.
Picture maybe later.
We will. We'll get a, this resolution.
Yes, sir. You have to have a motion.
Have a motion.
So
Second.
Okay, so that was Robbins and Jones. And Jones. Okay, we have a motion for the resolution. Any discussion? All in favor, let it be known, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you, Ms. Paul.
And congratulations.
16-8-1-2, William Greg Jones, Council District 5, elected without opposition. And he has already received his certificate. Do we have a motion of approval?
So moved.
Okay, we have Mr. Robbins. Do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? All in favor, let it be known, saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Mr. Jones? Okay, item 3, resolution number 2016-8-1-3, poll worker appointment. And council members have this, and we need to approve the appointed poll workers.
I did add one poll worker who responded back, added two as an alternate.
Okay, do we have a motion to move ahead with this?
Motion to adopt the resolution.
We have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Thank you, ma'am. Any discussion? All in favor, let it be known, saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so that resolution is approved. Item 4, withdraw previous bid award for the pedestrian bridge for the river walk at the Wetumpka Sports Complex, PNC Junior Multicultural Center. And this has been approved. The steps that we have to go through when we put it out for bid before, and the feds have not released the money.
Right.
And it took them forever to release it. We were never in jeopardy of losing the grant for the pedestrian bridge, and this is the ARC grant, Appalachian Regional Council. But it has been approved, and now we start the process all over again of rebidding the bridge. Is that correct?
Yes, that's right.
So we need a motion to withdraw the previous bid award.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you for those. Any discussion?
I would like to just get some clarity there. So you're saying we have to rebid this because it was not funded?
No.
What
There are steps on the federal grant that you have to follow,
okay.
and it's jumping through all the hoops. We actually had put this thing out when being told by DECA that we had the grant, and we went ahead and put it out for bid. The period of time has been so long since then that they asked us to go back through the process. But now we'll begin the process again, put it back out for bids, advertise it, put it back out for bid, and hopefully we can get within that range that we would need. Okay?
Question? I'm trying to remember from the old bid, did we have quite a few people bid, or was there just one bidder? I'm trying
Had
to-
two bidders,
There was
two
two?
qualified bidders. Actually, we only had one qualified, we had three bidders, and one of them withdrew because, they wasn't qualified, they found out they wasn't qualified, and then the second one really wasn't qualified. So we ended up with one bid, but it was a low bidder.
And it's still the same way, we're gonna have to come down from, say, the property there by the community center, down that way, one way.
Right,
See if I can remember the power company.
it's been staked off and cleared and rubbed through there. There's a trail through there, but,
There'd be no problem setting the bridge, but the abutments have to go in. We gotta do some environmentals on the property, even though we're really not disturbing. This river walk is gonna be pretty much on top of the ground, river walk, not a lot of digging. But where the bridge abutments go in, and some of you will know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the creek that comes off of the river that goes back through the brook. It's that same creek that runs back through the brook and runs back over to the sports complex property. So that's what it is. Okay.
Question, have we received a grant on this, or are we
Yes.
applying again?
Yes, we have received.
Received it,
We have
okay.
received. Okay, with that discussion, all in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone against? Okay, so that too has been granted. Permission to solicit bids from a qualified firm for the installation of a splash pad. Councilmember Gill.
Mayor, I certainly make a request for the council to basically move forward on pursuing the splash pad. And my request again is based off of initial conversation with CPM at the time that I was doing walkthroughs with them in terms of talking about what the goals were or what I would like to see there, what the community had talked about in terms of the MLK Center. So now we're discussing splash pad on the top side of the MLK Center where the upper baseball field was. And since then, we've had conversations with Coach Dickerson, Mr. Greer, to talk about that process. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there was at least one person came down to talk about the splash pads, the concept, process. So my goals are, with what my request is that we move forward in pursuing the splash pad.
I think we would have to, Coach, correct me if I'm wrong, but we'd have to go back and get the design that you wanted. You would have to get all the specs in order to be able to put it out for that bid. Is that correct?
If I may, yes.
Okay.
Mr. Gill or whomever, we need to, I came here, a couple months ago and said it's going to be about $85, $95 a square foot. So if we want 1,000 square foot, it's going to be $85,000. That is just the water shooting up out of the concrete. If we want the equipment and everything that goes with it, it's an additional price. The seating for parents, fencing, that's additional price. So we have to get together, decide, we know where we want to put it, but we have to decide on the size, what type of equipment, and the fencing goes around it, whether or not we're going to have fencing that's going to require admission or whether we're just going to have fencing that's for safety purposes. So, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I have given you a copy of the design sheet. It talks about all what is involved in the design. The council can go two ways. One, you can basically hire someone to do the design work for you. Or two, you can come up with your design based on what the community wants, how large they want it to be, just what you're saying, all the things that needs to go into it. And then once you do that, then you go through the normal bidding process to bid out the project, just like you would any other public works project. So either, the city comes together with the community to come up with the design, the size, and what else going to be offered there, or you elect to hire somebody under a professional services contract to actually design it. But you have a lot of information in front of you. There's all kinds of variations on what you can provide there for the community. And a lot of it's going to be based on the size and what age groups are you wanting to service? Are you wanting just small? Are you wanting all three different age groups? They have different categories.
Well, I think that comes in deciding what you want and the specs on it and what you're going to put out for bid. So that's where we need to be, is to do that part, get it together in order to advertise it, put it out for bid, and then see what your cost is on doing it. So that's item 5, and he's asking for permission to move forward with this. So is there a motion to move forward with this project?
So moved.
Okay, Mr. Gill has offered a motion for this project. Is there a second?
Mayor,
Yes.
I just have one thing. I wasn't aware that it was where it was gonna be, but I'd say we go big from small to the biggest and see what we get. And I'll be willing to give a second if we do that. But I have a walk back behind there to see what would fit, what size splash pad.
Well, I think you're still in the design stage, so you would have the.
Is that okay, Councilman? Second.
Are we,
Okay, so we have a second.
this is to get bids or to do a design?
This is, we have to do a design.
Well, it says bids, that's one of
Yeah,
them.
but we have to have a design before we can go seek a bid. Okay, so we have the motion, we have the second. Any further discussion? All in favor, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, so we'll move forward with that project. Okay, next, item 6, reschedule meeting conflicting with Labor Day, Monday, September the 5th, Tuesday, September the 6th. Anybody have a problem with that?
I do.
Location to the boardroom.
at the same time?
Same time.
Mayor,
Yes?
are you available that day?
Tuesday, September sixth.
I don't know, that's okay.
I will not. I will not be.
Will not be
Don't try it, I'll be
two of you. Listen, you gotta get your priorities.
there.
Okay, so Tuesday the fifth will not work, that the sixth will not work. When you gonna be back?
I'll be available the 11th.
Can we just do it the 12th, that next month?
Let's just see if we can schedule it the next Monday on the twelfth.
We'll have to reschedule planning commission to another location.
Can we still just do ours down there on the twelfth? If it's not booked, if it's booked, we'll have to do something else, but, so we're
No,
going
we
to.
wouldn't have to, we could meet here if it's on the 12th, right?
Planning
No,
commission.
it's meeting here.
Oh, I'll talk about it.
So let's go for the twelfth and,
Civic Center.
boardroom,
Civic Center.
okay, motion,
Yes.
second,
Yes.
okay. All in favor, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, boards and committees, Chamber of Commerce report, public comment from the citizens. Yes, sir.
How you doing, man? My question to you, Mayor, is the sports complex complete? Somebody play baseball, softball. Is it completed?
Is the baseball, softball part of it complete?
Practice and everything, stuff like that, you know, I ride by, then I see it, sometimes I ride by, then I see this flood. So my question to you is that those sports complex completed? Is it completed for what they play?
I think there's, to say the sports complex, that phase of it should be complete except
We're not completely through with the sports.
the build out of the maintenance building. But there's another area over there, archery is coming in, conservation is building a major archery course over there, so that will also be a part of the complex. And there's fishing programs that we're looking,
Okay, back to
expanding into.
what Councilman Gill was speaking about, when you said the complex / Martin Luther King, when we started this, and a long time ago, like you said, that way before you came to that.
Back in the old days,
Right,
right?
and it's still the same. But it's improving. I seen tonight, some things been improving. But the person, the managing contractors, during that period of time, you know, shouldn't be, the construction should have been completed, close to completed. Only thing I see, they put that big pile of dirt up there. It's been 6 months ago, I come in crying about that. Now I see it's, you know, moving forward. Now up top, up top, turn out the basketball goals,
Right,
turn out press box,
that's correct.
the demolished softball field
That's right.
up there. So I assume what we were listening a few minutes ago concerning them going up there to design for the splash pad. So I assume in that area, would be, when you say construction for the patio behind the Black History Museum, or how would that be?
It was for construction to begin on the patio, and, I don't know, does anybody have a conceptual that, Thomas Cook did? I don't have it. There was a round, sitting area, right behind the, Black History Building, right where the basketball goals were, and the asphalt, that was designed in by Mr. Cook, which when I came back and asked permission to proceed, that's what we were working on.
Okay, so how long will those kids be able to, they can't come to the rec field? They can't go down, because everything's blocked off. You got kids right around the streets, no nothing to do. So what can we do? What can we do?
Tell them what was today.
They can't come down, and they don't have the money to play ball like that. But the mayor said, call me.
At this point, Nancy,
Mhm.
since, Alice started with a lot of other help, but she was working with some program over there.
Right.
They used that area where the old field was, and they'll continue to use that now, as far as I know, till they tell us to start back.
I would go back and forth up there
Hmm?
to the program. That was a good program. They was running underprivileged kids. The kids that was underprivileged couldn't afford to go to the YMCA. Or couldn't afford to go play ball for different programs. They couldn't afford it. Most of those kids, all the kids, underprivileged.
I'm very familiar with that program.
I know, and
First
I'm going back
3 or
and
4
forth.
years I was here, I worked with that program.
I'm going back and forth. That's why they had the program.
And I know what the program was.
And I'm observing the kids that would come back and forth. It was a good program.
But here's the thing, and I don't understand, nobody can grasp, is if you're gonna build a house, and you got a barn sitting there, you got to tear that barn down because you got to build a house. You can't build a splash pad, you can't build a sitting area, you can't build a commons area without demolition.
So what about the teachers' home? That's different.
I was asked to stop on teachers' home because I didn't have a
Who asked you to stop?
councilman meeting.
No, sir.
Who asked you to
I
stop?
beg your pardon.
We walked through there.
I
No,
was,
sir, I did not ask you to stop. I
okay,
think
2
that
months
came-
ago, we
I-
went
I
told
think
we
that-
need to stop, so we.
Yes,
I
you
think
were.
that, I think that came from,
You were told that you needed to stop because the
By-
teacher's home,
by who?
the teacher's home. is
Who?
under-
By who? By who? By
I
who?
told you.
Okay, so I just want to clear that.
Okay. It was due to the fact
You
you
agreed
wanted
to
to
get
get
structural
a.
engineering.
Exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Okay.
But I did not tell you to stop.
No, you directed it, but you didn't tell me.
See, we walked through the.
All right, let me just clarify
Right.
something. In May, the meeting in May, we talked about this. This was on the agenda, we talked about this. The property, the teacher's home is under lease
Right, like history.
to Black History. And under the terms of the lease, it says that organization is responsible for all maintenance and upkeep and repairs and all of that. So for the city to go in and take on a responsibility that's not our responsibility and not legally something we can do unless we get the lease back. And we also talked about getting a structural report. And the lady that was here that night, that was on that organization, said that she was gonna get with you, and y'all were gonna get over a structural report, and then you're gonna look at turning that property back over to the city to do the repairs based on what that report showed.
So
That was in May.
Let me make
So we walked through.
Let me make a point.
So-
So I don't think they were gonna turn this property back up to the city. I think the question was with the city in a joint venture to do the repairs. I don't think it was ever mentioned to turn the property back over to the city. So you in turn sent me information, asking me to do some research about joint venture. I have replied back to that, but at the same time, I don't feel like, I'm not the city attorney. So I shouldn't have to do the research in terms of joint ventures.
The joint
That's-
venture was not for the repairs. The joint venture that you and I talked about was maybe hiring someone to be able to plaque the museum.
No, the joint venture was.
It wasn't a joint venture for the repairs because what the lady said that night was that they would be willing to let the lease go back to the city so that we can take over the responsibility for the maintenance and then us renegotiate something once that was done.
I don't remember hearing that part. If she said that,
That's
I don't
what
remember
our
hearing
discussion was, and then I left it with y'all, but you said y'all were gonna get together with her and you, and y'all were gonna get a structural report done.
That's correct.
And give it to the city, so we could see what needed to be done to the building,
That's correct.
and that was in May.
That's correct.
So, who's responsible, so what you saying, is that the, Black History Museum responsibility
The lessee was responsible under the lease,
for the upkeep of the
they were, that's what they had agreed
museum
to.
as well as the teacher's home?
No, not the museum, we're talking the teacher's
So
home,
he teaches all
the
right.
teacher's home.
So who's responsible for the museum, the upkeep it?
Well, the upkeep of the museum is the city's
Still
responsibility.
responsible. So how many years have you leased that museum?
It's a long time, that lease doesn't expire for a while.
15, 16 years.
Yeah, it's been a while.
We did put, when we started this, we did put a new roof on that building, and one was about 25,000.
See, in that teacher's home, we walked through that teacher's home, but when I walked through that teacher's home, you might go forward to the front room and turn around and come back. something. That's wrong, man. We, like I said, we're doing good, but I know time might be running out, man. But I'm saying this, the city of Wetumpka, we got a lot to do to come together. Because right now, kids everywhere, and we don't have no place for them to go, nothing to do. But then we constantly doing things to make the city great. But we like it for us, for the smaller kids in the community. When they start running to get the gangster come shooting up everybody, it's a problem. But we're trying to eliminate things like that. We don't need that to happen in the city of Wetumpka. But that's where it's headed.
School's gonna be starting soon, we're gonna be.
Engineers, man, they know it's school, they're not in the street.
Sir?
It's roughly the schools and in the street.
I don't think so. I think it's that, I've been over there.
But I'm saying, even after school, we should have some kind of program or something going on with kids after school. No, one, good.
Look, you all asking us for $40,000 every year for 4 years, which is $160,000, and you're telling us it's not a good
That's not
program?
enough money to run a boy club.
It's more money than we give to anybody else in this city.
For that boy club. Who?
So this next year, we don't need to fund them
Do you
now.
have any grandchildren? When you send your kids over there to boy club?
I'm not familiar with the Boys and Girls
I'm
Club.
saying,
I'm asked to finance it
It's
because
in,
it's
it's
supposed
in
to
your
be a
district,
benefit.
it's in your district.
it's in the district.
I'm saying, I don't know who goes there. I know that we finance it, but they come to us and ask for the
Boys and
money.
Girls Club?
I haven't been to visit it as a parent because I don't need the Boys and Girls Club. My child doesn't have to have
I
after
gotta
school
go.
day.
Chamber College. Why don't we have a quorum this year? Wait, is any member from the chambers here?
No, sir, he's not here. Yancey, you've done good, you've done.
I've been
you've done
at
good
this
tonight.
years. Wait for me to tell all y'all.
But let me ask you this, what's your opinion on the Boys and Girls Club? What we need to do?
Well, see, most of them, here we go again, upgraded because most of the kids in there, underprivileged kids, no stuff wrong. And then the ones that are there over them, they understand experience the young down at the bottom, but the ones that run it, they need upgrade. You need people to be able to discipline the kids. Discipline them. Constructive discipline. They got kids that right over me. You know what I'm saying? That's what it takes. My man want to kill, he want to go to the boys club.
Can I address the Boys and Girls Club issue?
Yeah.
When the Boys and Girls Club concept was brought to the city, it was because of the lack of after-school programs and the lack of Parks and Rec department for the city. So the Boys and Girls Club essentially is serving as a surrogate
Right.
for the lack of Parks and Recs for the city of Wetumpka. There is baseball, there is city league football. It's not a coordinated effort by the city. So the Boys and Girls Club served as for kids who were not playing sports. At that time, there was a presentation to the mayor, council members, the DA, the sheriff, judges, the superintendent, of what it costs to operate a Boys and Girls Club. What the expected buy-in should be from the local municipality, local school system. Someone needed to be the anchor for that project. If I'm not mistaken, the city at that time agreed to be the anchor for that project. Well, the next year, the city said, well, we didn't say that we were gonna support the Boys and Girls Club for 3 or 4 years. We only said we were gonna do it for 1 year at $25,000. Well, that's not what the conversation was about when we had those $25,000. So, and I'm here to say, I feel like if I wasn't on this body, the city would not have honored those other 3 years of $40,000, and that is not enough to support the Boys and Girls Club. But that was known from the beginning, from the regional director out of Atlanta, that if you're gonna support the Boys and Girls Club, you need to have a long-term plan and strategy. The city was in agreement. However, when it came down to put the money there, the city did not want to do that, as you guys remember. $40,000 is not enough money to support the Boys and Girls Club, period. So when people say, what's going on with the Boys and Girls Club? Funding is what's going on with the Boys and Girls Club. Funding. And it's not a black thing, and I hate when people try to point this whole racial dynamic out about Boys and Girls Club or MLK. It's about perception. Perception is reality. When you talk about the MLK Center, when you talk about the Boys and Girls Club, people know who historically utilized these facilities. It's typically underserved communities, it's typically African-American communities, and we've had this discussion, I've had this discussion with the mayor at length, in person, many a times. So when it comes up that these programs are not funded, and it turns to this racial dynamic, I'm not pleased with that because it's about all our kids. But at the end of the day, if we talk about the MLK Center, if we're talking about the Boys and Girls Club, let's look at the historical facts. The MLK Center has been here for 40, 50 years. There's been no major repairs, no major investments in that property. Since then, the city has bought a sports complex. To my knowledge, there's been about $12 to $15 million spent at that particular project. And I have made it known to the city. It does not look good when you invest in that particular property and you have a property that has been historically utilized by African Americans and you don't make a significant investment in it. That's why we are where we are today. Perception. It's my perception. It's a lot of the citizens in this community perception. So I feel like we are better than that in the city of Wetumpka. I know we are. I know that there are good people in the city of Wetumpka. I hate when it takes this slant about black and white. But at the end of the day, it's about investing in our community, investing into the kids who need the help. And until we get that mindset where we're ready to communicate to each other, put the politics aside, and address the issues the way they are. And I know people are uncomfortable talking about race, but race is a reality. We can't control the color of our skins, our socioeconomic background, but we can work together. So that's what I do challenge you, Mr. Mayor, the rest of the council members, to try to find ways to work together versus the semantics that we have been dealing with for the last 4 years.
And I think we're showing that we do that. $250,000 was the first gift that was given to the Boys and Girls Club.
Not from the city, Mayor.
And I did a grant, got a grant from DECA, $250,000.
No, you didn't, Mayor.
Presented it to
The
the
city
Boys
was
and
a
Girls
pass-through
Club.
for the grant. You did not.
All you need to do is call the director, Jim Byer, and see who signed off on that.
Yes, but you
But
didn't.
anyhow, then we've made continual gifts thereafter. But I think you look at the production as to this which. Listen, it's time to go. I need a motion.
I have a question, man. Don't hit the lights and ask the question, please. I just want to buy a lawsuit. Don't get down on it.
Don't do what?
When will we be having the city, we have a municipal election. Our municipal election is coming. We got 4 seats that's still vacant. So who are the candidates that's running against the ones that are not running? The ones that's running. I think, Steve got one against Percy, as well as yourself and Mr. Wetumpka. Again, what name?
Right.
All y'all got, candidates running against you. So who, will they have a forum? So we can meet the candidates and see what kind of platform they got going and who's gonna be running against them? Are we gonna have one of these this year?
I don't know. I've never set one of those up. I've never.
Who do that? The chamber?
In years past, it's been the chamber before that. We had a lawyer here that set up one, I believe. But I don't know. That's something that we'll have to look at and see. I don't know. I haven't had it mentioned to me. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.